So you've seen earlier versions of this platform, initially when a business was sold to you, and then later you used it on stuff you were buying.
Yeah.
Why? What did you like about it?
I think there was two really powerful things for us. One is it enabled you to very quickly turn what, DD we've often discussed is a very backward-looking process. And sometimes people use DD basically for that, am I about to completely cock something up if I buy this business? Whereas the more exciting bit is actually what's the opportunity of integrating this with our business? How's it going to move us forward? How's it going to help us hit the strategy? And everything we've looked at to sort of drill down, getting to the bones of the business is great, but when we were working on the sort of buy side of the project, what it enabled us to really quickly do is go, actually, here is how it's going to add real value. Here's how the customers align. Here's how the skills align. Here's where it's growing. Here's how this could really fit with our business. So actually, it's probably slightly different to some of the stuff you've demoed was the first thing that kind of really hit us.
Interesting. So when you're doing acquisitions, do you have kind of in your head a standard set of KPIs of the things that you're looking at?
Yeah, again, we've got very much the strategy. We're looking to build a single business, a single organisation. We kind of know who our customers are and we know how we kind of uniquely help those customers. So, the things that we're looking for are, a set of KPIs, but they're a lot to do with, what's the customer dynamic, what's the product portfolio, what white space is there? But that's a really important opportunity for us. So actually a lot of it, which is really interesting, is about the customer dynamics that sit underneath it rather than the financial metrics.
And I'll add to that. I think with working with you guys, it's about setting up the platform how you guys want to see it. Like everyone can measure things in slightly different ways, and it's truly understanding how you guys measure it. So when you do get targets, you can almost overlay your Windsor entity on top of it, the master entity, and seeing really what it's going to add or take away from your business.
Yeah, it's exactly that. What's it going to look like now? And then if we execute the plan, what's it going to look like in 2 or 3 years' time?
When you're assessing risk, do you look at kind of ARPU and pricing of products to see where they sit in the market?
Yeah, that kind of hits the nail on the head on one of the things that, when we look at risk, ARPU is a classic example, right? And going to the billing data, I would say the biggest difference working with the EC Analytics platform over classic DD is going to that source data and going to that billing data. Chart of accounts will never say, right, you use a very simple comms example. This customer has 1,000 broadband customers. They're all paying 50 quid a month for and is that for a high-speed fibre product? Is that for a legacy slow product where the ARPU should be 50 quid or where the ARPU should be £20, right? A chart of accounts and a DD report will never give you that. What this enables us to do on one particular example, which you're probably thinking of, is go straight to that bit and say, here's the customer base, here's how long they've been in. They're a very loyal long-term customer. But actually, for this cohort, we can see they're paying above ARPU. Therefore, or we can see that this 20% is on a legacy technology, which we're going to have to invest to upgrade.
No, I think that's a really key point. I mean, one of my worries always was, I can see you making loads of money now, but is it sustainable?
Yeah.
And part of that is, when you get to there's a tipping point, isn't there, where you can get away with high prices for a while, and then a new product comes along and you've got to drop. And if you buy it just at the wrong point, when they're overcharging, then you're mullered, basically. Yeah.
It's linked to ARPU, and it's linked to the technology. There's a chain of substitution for a lot of technologies that solve different end customer needs in different ways. So being able to break down, which parts of the cohort are using what different product sets, what do those upgrade paths look like, are they going to be positive or negative?
And allowing you also to get access to that data. Because in a report in one way you can't do it, but where we can, a big part of the development, and certainly for buyers in this space, is yes, the analytics looks good, but we need that data as well behind it. So you can filter this and actually then extract that cohort of data, whatever it is you want to look at from the system.
So, have you bespoked it to what you want, the Windsor version of this?
I think it's a bit of a living, breathing thing, as you say. And it's been constantly evolving.
Platform, to be honest.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, every business has. There's a core set of things that most businesses look at, right? But every business has a thing that makes them unique. and that drives their success. So we've absolutely bespoked it around how we see customer cohorts, where we see the opportunity in the market, where we're really successful with cross-sell, you know, our chart of accounts and how we're sort of looking at things going forwards. So yeah, being able to set it up. And I think, you know, we've done, 4 projects, if you look at the buy side and sell side projects. Yeah. I think each one we've iterated it just to, you know, make it a tiny bit more focused on what we need. But almost each one we've done is retained what we learned from the last one and then built 2 or 3 extra views or ways of looking at it on top of it.
Yeah, I think that's quite key because, again, going back to the boring PDF, it's quite hard to do that, isn't it? Particularly when you part way through and say, actually, I've now got another question, it isn't there. And the developer guys are pretty quick, aren't they, at putting some extra knobs and buttons on it.
The developers are good at that, and ICs are very good at asking one more question. So you put those things together.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other bit, is because most people are now owned by somebody else who's funding it, you're never quite sure what's coming back from the IC. Right. Hopefully that gives you an idea of where this kind of technology is at and how you can use it from both seller and buyer side. Right. Put your hands together, please, for Peter.